Meet somebody, they don't do nothing. They don't do nothing. They don't date. They don't do drugs. They don't play checkers. They don't do nothing. How long do you like those people for? You don't. I like people with a little bit of edge to them. They got to do something. If you tell me I don't like alcoholics, but I love heroin, I'm in. If you tell me you suck toes for breakfast, I'm in. You got to do something. One night I knock on the door, and who answers the door? It's her. And she goes, oh, my God, it's so great to see you. How have you been? And I go, it's great to see you. Man, I gave her a hug, and I put the Chinese down, and she goes, what are you doing with your life? I go, I'm getting divorced, but I got into stand-up comedy, and I'm trying to deliver food to make a living. And she's like, oh, that's so sweet. You and her broke up? Oh, you must need a hug. And as I started hugging her, we started swapping spit. And I touched a little monkey, and I could feel nobody had even touched a monkey in like 10 years. Steam started coming up. And I started fingering that motherfucker like a savage and swapping spit with her. And my hand was nice and wet, and I'm fingering it. I got a pinky surrounding her asshole. And I'm working, and finally I put it down slowly. And I pop her pants. I take her tit out. She's got one big fucking tit. I'm sucking her tits. And I'm making out with her. And I'm fingering at the same time. So while I'm fingering her, I take her pants down. But I go, I don't want to see what the other leg is. So I took the leg off of the good leg. And I left the fucking bad leg covered because I don't want to know what it is. If she's got like a pole under there, one of those fucked up feet. So I picked up her fucking legs and I started eating her pussy. The clit fucking was huge. And I'm sucking at her like a piece of bubble gum. I look up at her and she's like this, Christine, like with her mouth open. I go, now's the time to put the helmet in that fucking mouth. So I switched up. I started two-finger Louie her, and I went around her, and I put that fucking hammer in her mouth, and she didn't know what to do. She's like, and at that time, I was trying to fucking lift weights and shit, so I wasn't jerking off, because somebody told me not to jerk off, that your protein, I was retarded, dog. You know, I'm retarded. And when I came in the mouth, it was one of those loads, Christine, that don't stop. You ever have one of those things?
I know, Christine.
And you're sucking it with your eyes closed, and then after a minute, you open it up, because you're like, when is this going to stop? And I could look at her swallowing it, and it was endless. It was fucking endless. It was just a load of death. It was like a month and a half of not coming. There was Valium in there and Xanax and fucking
Well, it's
cocaine.
nice seeing you, Joey. Thanks for stopping by.
I shot a load in the mouth, and when I took my dick out, she went, ah. It was like she drank a gallon of Mountain Dew. She looked at me. She started getting a little dizzy.
Oh, my God.
I was selling Valium at the time. I was taking like 100 milligrams of Valium a night. When I shot in her mouth to put her in a trance, she was glassy-eyed. She gave me a $3 tip, and I left, and I never saw her again. She must have ate that Chinese food and slept for a week.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
You got any dates coming up you want to put
You can still
got a Twitter handle?
You
You
can
wanna
still
plug
feel what
that?
that nut felt like, I bet, right?
Oh, it was like a 3-minute nut.
But wait a minute, you didn't even bang her? You didn't put it in her vagine?
No.
No.
Well, that's
Let me tell you, the
unloaded
pussy eating was tremendous.
Oh, okay.
I licked her ass.
Sorry, I blacked out at some point. I didn't listen closely.
Once I shove my tongue in your ass, you black out. It's like you're 14 and your uncle's molesting you. You know. You just black out and let happen what's going to happen anyway.
I think everybody everywhere can relate to the getting terrible at preparing the next thing, like grinding something up. And you're just moving at a really weird rate, just enjoying. Like right now, I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
No.
But some people are really focused. Like I'm just more like.
I ain't like even buying joints now.
Enjoying the conversation.
I like breaking the weed. That's whole part of the whole karma, is breaking it, putting the two papers together, cutting it with the scissor. Then you watch whatever's on the news for 3 minutes. Then you roll the fucking number, you lick one, then you go get the coffee. It's whole, you know.
Hey, we haven't done this yet.
Yeah, no, that's not weed in there. That's a cigarette. That's nicotine. Yeah. That's good, but it'll take away the dizziness.
Kiss the frog for luck. Okay, so
This is the
yours
grape
is
bait?
filled. I'll fill mine. People are bound to say on the internet that Doug kept using the small one. Because it's always a competition.
Tremendous.
Oh, God. Here we go.
I like it. Where's the medic? Get him in here just in case, you know what I'm saying? I feel a little fibrillation. No, I'm feeling great. This is tremendous. No, don't get the med. I'm just fucking with you. Are you kidding
Did he really
me?
come in?
No, I don't even want the med in here. He's bad luck.
Daniel's trying to go get him?
No, I don't like doctors around when I'm getting high. They're bad luck. They put a fucked up feel in the room, you know?
I don't think you've said cocksucker once this whole time. That's the go-to impression of you, is cocksucker.
I'm trying to behave myself. I'm trying to change my ways. It's the holiday season.
Is that why, really?
Yeah, you can't be calling people cocksuckers during the holiday season. It's just not right. People want to be in a good mood to buy gifts and presents. All of a sudden, you get called a cocksucker. You're like, I'm going to go home.
People are going to watch this in March.
All right, then fuck you, cocksucker. This is going on today with Doug Benson. We're smoking bong hits for fucking Jesus. Let's do another one.
Okay.
Fuck it. Let's do some more bong hits for Jesus, Jerry's kids, everybody today. We're mixing this motherfucker up today. God damn it. It's over. Grape ape in the house. Let's do this. Oh, yeah. If you're at home, fuck it. Light yourself on fire. It's over. Put it on John Lennon. A tremendous club, you know?
Yeah.
So I was in Seattle maybe 2 weeks, and I was already rocking. Like, in Boulder, I would do like 5 sets a week, and I had to drive all over the fucking world. In Colorado, I had to go to Wyoming and shit. In Seattle, we had 2 spots on a Monday night, 4 spots on a Tuesday, 6 spots on a Wednesday. There was a spot on Thursday. There was always something. It was just fucking mind-boggling. And I'm having a great time with the broad. She's stripping at night. I'm helping her count her money. I'm taking 20 for me, 20 for her.
Yeah, of course.
I'm dropping $100 bills on the floor and stepping on them. Fucking hysterical. She was great.
How much?
Honestly, every time I turned my head, I was getting a check for $2,500 to $5,000.
Jeez.
What?
Jose Marti, Johnny, any Spanish guy that made more money, they just donate. And they have a fund sitting for Spanish people. And all you gotta do is just apply, and they would give me fucking thousands.
And you're like, yo no hablo inglés. Gracias.
No. I wouldn't talk on this. And when I was on campus, I was like a Jap. You know how Japs come around with a camera and they bow and they don't know nothing? I don't know. You should have seen me. You know what I'm saying? I was at the fat chick in Man on Fire when remember La Gordita? Es que no sé, la niña. They would talk to me. I didn't know nothing. I bow. I take pictures like I just came back from Cuba. You should have seen me. As soon as I hit the fucking campus, I was like Vinny Chingigante.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like a half a retard. Es que no sé, ¿dónde está el building A? ¿Dónde está el building C? And then our big thing on Saturdays was we'd snort THC crystal, take a bus into the city.
The keef? You would snort the keef? Is that what
Listen, THC crystal is what you sold it to Bert as. On the street, it was fucking PCP.
I got you.
It was guerrilla tranquilizers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
This is the shit that they would shoot.
That sounds kind of nice.
What was that show when we were kids? Omaha, whatever, about animals, wild animals, the Mutual of Omaha.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
When you see a leopard, they shoot him and he'd go over. That's what we were snorting.
All right.
It was like animal tranquilizers. So take me, you, Rogan, Bert, Tom, 9 of us. We'd split 3 $10 bags. We'd buy $30 worth, and we'd each do a little line, and we'd jump on a bus on Saturdays, go to New York City, jump off on Times Square, and we'd go, all right, you, Bert, and Tom, see you later. We'll meet at 5 o'clock in Port Authority on 181st Street. So you got to see how to get there. And it's just a foggy world, man.
I'll bet.
We would walk like 20 blocks, then we'd jump on a train for 10, then we'd sit on a park bench for an hour, and fuck, when it was really hitting you, like, we'd be in Harlem talking to black people, and the next thing you know, we had to get to fucking 181st. It was a fun time, and my mother had no control. I was doing great in school freshman year, and then I got initiated into the boys. The boys said, we want you to be part of one of us. So I would go to their parties.
So the little boys is like the Cub Scouts and
of the big boys.
And now they're pulling you up.
Right. But what it really meant was that the little boys, there was one particular one who I just spoke to last night, and he had an older brother. What that meant was that I got invited to those older parties. Mm-hmm. That's what that pass gave.
What are these kids, 17, 18, 19?
These kids are seniors in high school, and they're fucking lunatics. And I love them for them. I loved it for them. Like the first party I went to, they got garbage barrels, and they put garbage bags in them, and they just filled them up with different booze. No mixer, no margarita mix. It was like
just
brandy, gin.
Over here.
They threw a shoe in there, and they got a bunch of bees. They got a bunch of dead bees and put them in the thing and stand them up. And for you to walk in, they would give you a ladle with a glass, and you'd have a bee in the glass. And I remember I don't know how many times I picked up the shoe. There was like an old man's shoe in there. These guys were nuts. Great guys. No drugs, reefer, heavy metal music, the Stones, shit like that. I'll never forget the first party I went to. I woke up on a lawn. Like I just opened my eyes up and I was on Richie Sensulo's lawn.
Richie Sensulo. I love your names, God.
His name is Richie Sensulo.
You're on his front lawn?
I'm on his front lawn. I'm looking around and it's Ray Ernesto. Ray Ernesto was a cop who I liked but I didn't like because he would always play basketball with us and he would wear colored socks. And that was like a no-no in my hometown.
Yeah, what are you
and he would pull them all the way up to his knee. He was a cop. And you know how many times...
He even dressed athletically like a cop. You can see, he could tell a mile away.
Oh, my God. Ray Ernesto was the sweetest man on the planet. He was a cop. And to keep himself in shape, he played with the 8th graders on Sunday. Legit guy, no pedo. He'd buy us all.
No pedophile.
No pedophile. I read the book by Lenny Bruce, ladies and gentlemen. Lenny Bruce, and it was just about doing drugs and going out every night. And that's exactly what I did. That's what I wanted to do. It was about getting high, getting on stage. And in those days, there wasn't a lot of comedy in Denver. I was doing poetry readings.
What?
You had to sneak in as a poet. So I would put on like a little hat with an apple on top. And I'd walk into a coffee shop and shit.
God damn. I wish there was a video of that shit somewhere.
Oh, my God. The famous coffee shop was called Penny Lane in Boulder. It was Penny Lane. And I would go to Penny Lane. It was open 24 hours. Coffee shop, couches, books, that type of stuff. A bunch of intellectuals, And I would go in there for the 8 o'clock poetry reading, and they would throw me out every week. Stop. You can't talk like that in here. I'd be talking about Godzilla and fucking killing Chinese people and shit on stage. And they were like, you can't do that. This is poetry night. But there was one manager who worked the midnight shift to 8 in the morning, and her boyfriend was in the halfway house with me. So she saw me there one night, and she's like, we do a poetry reading at midnight, from midnight to about 3 every morning. And I go, are you fucking serious? And she goes, come down. You're always welcome. So I would have to wait till midnight to do the poetry readings. And again, they would, I'd have to follow a guy like that was up there. I ran, yeah. And I ran into the wilderness. And then I'd go up there throwing fucking heat, talking about Hitler and shit.
Oh, God.